And it washes out the road, my driveway when it melts, you know? And if I keep having them, they're coming for tar in there. And, oh God, that one week, last year, I think, there was,
And I did see
every day filling it in, because of wash.
I don't know what they're.
Not paying any attention.
Yeah.
I saw that they're and vice. They have
So it's yeah, but you're pretty healthy, aren't you?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, so am I.
it's someday
So anyway, you know.
you tweak something, like 24 hours.
hopefully it's the start of something. Yeah.
Oh, he's appointed. Okay, I thought it was. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, I get
I don't know, in the interviews.
They can go away anytime.
2 days.
They could switch to the north wind.
I think there's an issue.
And I don't doesn't you know it's April?
Never. That has never happened with any of them.
And I got another one that's ready to be on.
Yesterday, it fell.
Yeah.
I know I went had to go get the bath.
It shows
All that I did.
You're gonna have Charlie. There you are, in
No.
Pete, right?
Prorated.
No.
No. That's the, yeah.
I'm not chief in charge, so whatever happens, happens.
That's, you have to do money search out.
Yeah.
Or that's right. And that's gonna leave. Sort of. They're thinking.
I told somebody that my dad.
Hasn't.
Mine's fine.
I thought my dad was gonna die.
Share thingy.
Thank you.
Well, time is now 6 o'clock. I'd like to call the county board to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Moment of silence, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 3 is a roll call. 3 supervisors absent. We have quorum. Item 4, approval of the agenda.
Bomar moves. Wait seconds.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Any discussion or questions? Okay, call a vote. Okay, the agenda is approved. Item 5 is members of the public wish to be heard. Paul Krumenaar.
Good evening. I'm Paul Krumenaar from Chippewa Valley ATV Council, and I was here last week, but you guys weren't, so I was a week early. That's a good thing. So just telling you about what's happening in the county. We just recently got new maps last week, so feel free to grab some. If you need more, just let me know. It has all the county roads plus the county ATV trail on it. So appreciate all the work that you have done for us and supporting us. And I know you're going to probably support this couple ordinance changes tonight. So just letting you know that we're here. And if you need anything, let us know and we'll work both ways. So Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item 6, the consent agenda. Look for a motion to approve.
Lot seconds.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any comments, discussion, questions? Okay, we'll call a vote for that. Okay. Consent agenda is approved. Item 7, reports. Move down to department reports. Monthly statements of claims filed with the county clerk.
Just as you've seen the last few months, in your packet is the monthly claims that were filed since the last meeting. If you have any questions on any of the claims specifically, please reach out to Corporation Counsel. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Item 8, business items. Resolution 11-25, resolution to grant standing authority to the county administrator to apply for and administer DNR grant funds.
Resolution number 11-25, resolution to grant standing authority to the county administrator to apply for and administer grant funding available through the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. Now therefore be it resolved that the Chippewa County Board of Supervisors does hereby authorize the county administrator or designee to act on behalf of Chippewa County to complete the administrative requirements of the grant programs of the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources listed on the attached Exhibit 1, including preparing applications to the State of Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources for any financial assistance that may be available, signing and submitting all documents required to apply for and receive financial assistance from the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, completing all actions necessary to undertake, direct, and complete the approved projects in compliance with all local, state, and federal rules, regulations, and ordinances relating to each project and associated grant, contract, and/or cost share agreement. And be it further resolved that should the county administrator approve any DNR grant that was not included in the budget, the county administrator or department head shall report to the relevant policy committee to explain the grant and why it was approved outside of the normal budget process. And be it further resolved that this authority shall continue until changed by further action of the county board. Forwarded to the county board by the Land Conservation and Forest Management Committee.
Entertain a motion to approve.
Omar moves.
Bergeron, second.
We have a motion and a second to approve.
I'm Matt Hansen. I'm the County Forest Administrator. I administer most of these grants, even though the county administrator's name is on the grant, it's his designee, and a lot of that usually falls to me. The reason we're renewing this, we have this existing resolution on record, but the state requires it to be renewed every 2 years for their federal grant application process and stewardship fund process. We are in the process of working with the Friends of Hickory Ridge to apply for a grant for a warming shelter and a new maintenance shed at their trailhead. Questions?
Any more questions? Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I was looking the wrong way.
I just had one. So in other words, nothing has substantially changed since the last time this resolution.
No, the wording's the same.
Thank you.
Okay. Seeing no more questions, we will call the vote. Release.
It's really open.
I know, right?
All right, the resolution is
Much.
Item 2, Resolution 12-25, resolution urging Governor Evers and the state of Wisconsin to support county circuit courts.
Resolution number 12-25, resolution urging Governor Evers and the state of Wisconsin to support county circuit courts in the 2025 to 2027 biennial state budget. Now therefore be it resolved that the Chippewa County Board of Supervisors expresses its support for the Wisconsin Clerks of Circuit Court Association and the Wisconsin Counties Association in their efforts to increase the circuit court costs appropriation by $70 million payable to Wisconsin counties in the 2025 to 27 Wisconsin biennial state budget. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be sent to Governor Evers and to all Wisconsin state legislators representing Chippewa County.
I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Flynn moves to approve.
Lot seconds.
Okay, we have a motion second to approve. Are there any questions there? Okay. Nate? Nate, would you like to come up to answer some questions, please? Thank you.
My name is Lytle. I'm the clerk of court for Chippewa County. We just, as a group of the clerk of courts in the entire state, have kind of grouped together and are having all the, or as much of a push as we can to have all counties approve the urgency to Governor Evers to increase the state aid to the clerk of court system. I think when it was established, it was kind of more of a 50-50 type of operation, where now the state is only contributing about 12%, and the rest is falling on to the counties. It's just becoming a lot more difficult. There's been an increase of costs for interpreters, an increase in costs for court-appointed attorneys, guardian ad litems, medical expenses for psychiatric examinations, and just a lot more other rising costs that have all been falling on onto the county. But
Okay, we have one question at least, maybe you can answer. Pam?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Not so much, I mean, it's a question for you. I don't disagree that we don't need this, but I'm wondering if there are any other additional follow-up things that we should do as a county board. We can pass a resolution, but my understanding, having also worked with resolutions, that there's also the continued work thereafter. And I didn't know if there was any recommendations that you might have, because you can pass the resolution, send it up, but do we need to have additional conversations to continue to support this moving forward? And what would that look like?
a lot of the clerks have already reached out to different legislators, specifically the ones on the finance committee that are going to be pushing for it. When I think I have the date somewhere, on February 18th, when Governor Evers did his biennial budget address, he already had proposed allocating $24.5 million for 2025 and 2026, and then $70 million for 2026 and 2027. So we're kind of halfway there already. The push that we're trying to make is for 70 million and 70 million. So we're kind of halfway there already, but this is just for that final push. And it's just to keep it at the forefront. They say the squeaky wheel gets.
President Gehrig?
So I understand that, the governor creating the budget. But would it behoove us to be reaching out to our legislatures, state senators, representatives also?
Yeah, and the Clerk of Courts Association is already doing that. And from my understanding, the Wisconsin Counties Association is doing that as well. But any additional support that, or anybody else that reaches out to the legislators is going to be a good thing.
I realize it's not on the budget tonight. Is it something we should consider for the future? Or it's not on the budget, I mean, on the agenda for tonight? But is that something we should think about?
It's certainly something you can put on, say, exec council.
Okay, I thank you.
Just to learn a little more about it, yes. Yeah, obviously it's a needed thing. Supervisor Schubert.
Thank you. Is this something the legislators are already trying to allocate for us, and then the governor's just going to veto it, or is it just totally cold dead and we're trying to push both sides?
We're just pushing both sides. Okay. I haven't heard from if that Governor Evers is going to veto anything. Actually, as I mentioned, he had already proposed putting additional funds to the court systems in his initial address back in February. So it seems to already kind of be on his radar.
And then the costs that we're incurring more and more, are those, I'm sure some of them are required state coverages that we have to cover services. Are there things on there which are not state mandated services that we are providing?
For the most part, they're required by statute. Specifically, like I mentioned, the interpreters, and then the court-appointed attorneys, and then the medical exams or psychological examinations are required by statute.
So then, the interpreters was thinking, because could that cost be put back on the individual? Or is that something we have to cover by statute?
No, and interpreters it's rising in Chippewa County, but it's nowhere near what it is for a lot of the other counties. I was just looking at the numbers in my office before I come up here, and I want to think it was $5,000 a year. I mean, it's not a substantial amount for us here, interpreters. Ours are more of the court-appointed attorneys, and then the medical, psych exams.
The main overall thought was, is there any way we can cushion that cost down or lower the cost to help us through this harder time until the funding is there?
Yeah, and when I did the budget last year for my department, and be starting up, I'm sure, here in the next month or two for next year. And I'm obviously looking for any cost savings that I can, and anywhere that I can reduce, take from Peter to give to Paul, so.
Thank you.
Supervisor Hennick?
Have you reached out to any of the state legislators to champion this for us?
I have sent emails out to a couple of them. I don't know that I've gotten replies from them. I know Sharon Millerman, she's the clerk of court in Barron County. She's on our our Clerk of Courts Association Legislative Committee. So she's been doing a lot of the pushing, more of the meeting in person. I know she's going to the Finance Committee meeting that is in, I think it's in Rice Lake, maybe, Cameron. So I know she'll be going to that and giving a presentation at that meeting then as well.
Yeah, if you can find somebody willing to work with us, sometimes that makes a difference. I recently reached out to the feds and got some response from Senator Baldwin on some budgetary issues, and this person on a federal level is willing to work with us. So just having personal contact on the phone sometimes may flip the switch.
Yep. Yeah, and I think having this, just keeping this as a tool in the back pocket, as something to pull out when I'm speaking with them, would be just something nice to have.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, any more questions? If not, then I will call the vote for Resolution 12-20. Okay, resolution is passed. Item 3, Resolution 13-25, resolution to approve the sale of the Chippewa County Public Firearms Range property.
Resolution number 13-25, resolution to approve the sale of the Chippewa County Public Firearms Range property. Now therefore be it resolved, the County Board of Supervisors accepts the bids submitted by Carrie Michaels in the amount of $197,700 and awards the sale of the property to Carrie Michaels, subject to the terms of the offer to purchase. And be it further resolved that in the event that Carrie Michaels fails to complete the terms of the offer to purchase, the County Board of Supervisors accepts the second highest bid submitted by Jacob Johnson in the amount of $172,657 and awards the sale of the property to Jacob Johnson, subject to the terms of the offer to purchase. And be there further resolved that the Corporation Council is authorized to prepare any and all documents necessary to complete the sale. And be it further resolved that the county clerk and the county board chair are authorized to execute any and all documents necessary to complete the sale. And be it further resolved that the proceeds from the sale of the property are to be deposited into the sale of the county property account 100-03-51405-483010, forwarded to the county board by the Facilities and Parks Committee.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion, questions?
Sure.
Okay.
So I know with this lush head of hair, it's easily confuse me for Larry, but Larry, I'm pinch hitting for Larry tonight. What Larry doesn't know is he's gonna owe me a boatload of fishing tips, and you all are welcome to hold him to that. So yeah, this passage of this resolution will approve the sale of the former Chippewa County Firearms Range property. It's in your documents, and as you may recall, Resolution 5124 previously authorized the county administrator to sell the property by sealed bids and Facilities and Parks Committee to determine the most appropriate bid for recommendation to the county board. Since that occurred, the county, we've obtained a certified survey map of the property. We've also obtained an appraisal of the property, which was valued at $162,000 and which was used to establish the minimum sales price. And as also indicated in your materials, the county received 3 qualifying bids, with the highest being from Kerry Michaels in the amount of $197,700. The F&P committee selected Ms. Michaels' bid as the most appropriate bid and recommends its approval and sale of the property to Ms. Michaels. And just a couple items to note, the resolution was a minor amendment made by the Facilities and Parks Committee to add an additional, be it further resolved, which states that in the event Ms. Michaels fails to complete the terms of the offer to purchase, then the county board accepts the second highest bid. And something not really it's not really of practical importance at this point, because of the fact that Ms. Michaels has completed the offer to purchase and she submitted the total amount of the purchase price to Facilities and Parks at this point. So as long as it's approved tonight, she'll be awarded the sale of the property. And then one other thing, there is at line 56, it indicates that there was still some fiber work to be completed in an outstanding invoice of, I believe, about $7,000 to be paid. That has since been completed, and I believe is it 2,000? 2,000? And that's been paid, so. Any questions at all?
The cleanup, if I remember right, that came in at about, was it 500?
I don't know off the top of my head what exactly that number was. I don't have that in front of me, so I'm sure. I'm sorry.
All right, thank you.
Any more questions? All right, thank you. And we'll call the vote on Resolution 13-5. Release. Resolution is approved. Item 4, ordinance 2-25, ordinance to amend section 58-39 designating ATV, UTV routes. Second reading.
Good evening.
Yeah, we have a motion.
Waiter so moves.
Second.
Okay.
This is for 2 new routes. County F, Town of Sampson, and County M, Sampson, for additional access for the ATVs, UTVs. Any questions at all?
questions or comments? Supervisor Seidlitz?
Yeah, I just got one comment. Yeah, I'm glad you're expanding and everything, the trails and everything. But it's almost been a year now since we approved the 750 people per day traffic. I think it's time for the highway department to start looking at upping that to 1,000 per day traffic flow instead of the 750. There's a lot of people in my community that have access to no trails, and I'm not aware of accidents or anything that's been going on with this, with the UTV traffic. I think it would be an asset to our county to add in the 1,000 per day, and I'm wishing the highway department would take this up and maybe change it up to 1,000 per day and have it come before this committee. I also think that it's time for us to start discussing that maybe the signage shouldn't be paid by the UTV clubs, because I believe bicycle trails and other walkways and stuff like that, we are taking the sign fees out of budgets for the highway department and stuff, and I don't get why the UTV organizations have to be paying for the signs at this point in time to go on the road.
The highway department has not been paying for the signs.
Not of the UTVs, I know.
No, not on the ATV, UTV.
That's what I'm saying, but I believe on walkways and everywhere else, we're doing it on bike trails and other places, is coming out of our funds. And I believe that it should be fair either way, because this is grabbing tourism to our community, and that's just a statement I'm making.
Okay, I misunderstood you. That makes
Yep,
sense.
I know the UTV clubs are paying for all the signs, and I don't think it's fair.
Supervisor Gehrig?
So I just want to make a note that there's a lot of discussion on this at the executive committee. But it was pointed out to us that these routes did meet our minimum safety criteria, and that's why it was forwarded to this board. The number that we had agreed on initially for traffic, I think is still valid. In this case, these routes did meet our minimum criteria.
Any more questions or comments? If not, we'll call the vote for ordinance 2-25. The ordinance is approved. Ordinance 3-25, ordinance to amend section 58-34 of the Code of Ordinances regarding a no parking zone. We need a motion to approve.
Plater so moves.
Gang seconds.
Okay, we've got two no parking zone signage. Basically, the County Trunk Highway Double C in the town of Cleveland. That was recommended by an engineering consultant doing work for our safety improvement project. It basically is extending on the zone that was already out there and improving it. The County Trunk Highway Double O in the Village of Lake Hallie, that is also extending. It's an existing no parking zone that was slightly extended, and it actually really was not. The one side of the street was just one sign, so it wasn't even the zone. It was just one sign right there. So this basically makes it an enforceable, legal, no parking zone. Questions on either one of those?
Exactly where on Double O is that at?
It is. It's 190 feet north of the intersection to Double O and 30th Avenue. And it goes for 370 feet east and west sides of County Trunk Highway Double O.
Has this been coordinated with the village? Informed them or anything?
This is all gonna become a part of the Double O improvement project that will be going this year. There's gonna be reconstruction out there. I honestly, I cannot tell you village involvement in that. Property owners are all aware of it. Business owners are aware of it. We've had a lot of good feedback for this. It's high traffic. Speeds are relatively high at this point in time there. There is vision problems, people trying to get in and out of driveways. There's bicycle trail right there, so it's a needed measure for safety.
I'll get a hold of the village. Make sure they get it.
Any more questions? If not, call the vote on ordinance 3-25. Okay. The ordinance is approved. Item 6, ordinance 4-25. Ordinance to amend section 58-31 of the Code of Ordinances regarding speed zones.
Jim Flater so moves.
Rochelle, second.
Okay, you have a motion and a second.
Okay, there's several of them here. Basically, it's more or less just updating existing signage. It's updating ordinance to match the existing signage that's out there. I know last month I was asked why it doesn't match already. There's several factors that can happen. Driveways, signs were knocked down, put back up, looked to be in a more convenient spot. You know, they just got adjusted. So basically, it just puts everything back where the language says it should be. County Trunk Highway AA, Village New Auburn, an existing 25-mile ordinance, that's there, it's been in place. Again, it was just signed to actual, it's updated to match the actual sign locations. County Trunk, any questions on AA? So I don't get too far ahead of you. County Trunk Highway B in the town of Tilden. That's an existing 35-mile-an-hour ordinance. That's just being updated to match existing sign locations. Any questions on B? County Trunk Highway Q, town of Tilden. And again, that's to match the northbound and southbound 35-mile-an-hour zones. The zones on the north end need to be adjusted so they matched up. And the line down on the south end also. We'll just basically clean up. Questions on that one? County Trunk Highway B, also in the town of Tilden, is the existing 45-mile-an-hour ordinance language is being updated again to match the actual sign locations. And then lastly, County Trunk Highway O in the town, Village of Lake Hallie. That's to reduce the speed to 40 miles per hour. It's a result of an engineering speed study that was approved by the County Traffic Safety Committee back in May. We held off on that and to work in kind with the project that's coming in the near future here. That's a construction project. Basically, it should be the state's gonna be letting that contract out sometime in the next couple of weeks. So, any questions at all on that one? What will happen on that one there, it's gonna basically take it down to a 40-mile-an-hour zone all the way through there. So it would take you from the curves kind of over towards Marshfield Clinic all the way down to Hogarth. That whole stretch of O would now become 40 miles per hour. And with the amount of traffic, the bike trail, the businesses, the driveways, it's recommended.
Supervisor Hennig, do you have a question on this one?
Yeah, Can I stop by sometime this week and get pictures and stuff from you so I can accurately alert the village?
Sure. We're,
They're on packet.
yeah, they should, you're correct. They are in the packet, you should have them there.
Yes, well,
If not, feel free to please call. Brian's out of town this week, but you can ask for me, and I'll make sure you get what you need. We are not open on Thursday,
one and two.
okay?
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions?
Any more questions on these? If not, then we will call the vote on Resolution 4-25 to approve. Elise? Ordinance 4-25 is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Move on to item 10, County Administrator appointments. County Administrator appointments for the Housing Authority Commission. I would entertain a motion to approve.
Lots makes motion.
Any seconds?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the appointments. Any questions, discussion? Okay, if none, then I will call the vote. Here we go. Appointments are approved. Item agendas for future consideration. Let us know.
I just want to make a comment at this point in time.
Okay.
I just, everybody can just, like I said, hear it out for just a few seconds. I just think after being on this board for 2 years, we're being force-fed like agenda items that maybe don't always have our vision for the public sector and stuff. I feel like we're just being led around this place to say yes all the time, and we're being led around with like a carrot dangling in front of us like you would a donkey, just have the stuff put in front of us, and oftentimes we're forgetting about the people that are out there, the issues that we're dealing with. I feel like some stuff is not meeting our plate, and even in some of our committees that we're in. And we can't make every committee meeting that you can't expect us to make every committee meeting because we got families, jobs, lives, and there's stuff that needs to be on some of these agendas, some stuff that needs to be changed, some stuff that needs to be addressed. And I just think we need more open dialogue in these meetings, and I think it needs to be revamped a little bit so we can have like a session where our 21 unique minds can actually talk over issues and stuff and try to end up with solutions instead of constantly kicking the can around on things. I mean, I've even reached out to department heads who want to seem to run our community, and they can't even give me a call back or an email back. I mean, are there people in our community residents that are not getting called backs? Are there businesses that want to relocate here that are not getting called back? I mean, that's a problem. It's been several times I've emailed department heads and stuff, and they haven't got back to me. I just think that our taxpayers deserve better than what we have, what we're doing here. I mean, and I hope that, you guys just soak it in a little bit of what I have to say here.
Yeah, I'll call this here just as agenda items for future discussions. What's on our agenda. We get into a discussion where we're no longer.
Well, you're still taking, I have last meeting we found that the sheriff wage increases are going to be additional tax upon our festivals at the last minute. I'd like to make a motion that the county board paid the extra halftime cost accrued by the sheriff department for the extra events throughout 2025. This is good business.
What is your motion?
You can't,
It's not on the agenda.
it's not on the agenda.
If you'd like to put on the agenda and
Okay,
suggest
let's-
that, maybe.
Okay, let's
That's where we're at.
do this.
Just agenda items.
This was sent at the end of the last meeting to be on this month's agenda. It was spelled out. I was told it was not going to be on this agenda and to make the motion at this time. That is the direction I was given, so that's what I'm doing now. So is this just gonna keep getting pushed down and pushed away and not ever getting handled? Like what Joel was saying, things that are inconvenient are getting pushed down and redirected. So at what point, I sent in the request for this very motion, plus another one, and it was summarily ignored, or said it was not going to be on the agenda, and foreseeable future not going to be on the agenda. So how do I get this motion on the agenda for this meeting, for this group?
But with due respect, you asked to put it on the agenda. I met with you and the other supervisor who did this at another meeting. Went over with you, and you said you were fine with, that we were carrying on. That's where I left it. And I heard back from you saying that you weren't part of the discussion.
Well, that was,
And
I understand
just,
that discussion.
if you'd like to make a motion to put on the agenda, that's fine, and we can vote on it. Otherwise, a depth of discussion is placed.
We can't, there,
You can't make a.
because that's not on the,
Put on the-
there's nothing on the agenda that was noticed to the public. We cannot take a motion and a
You make a
second.
motion
vote on
to,
it.
so an agenda.
They can
items-
give you feedback of something that you want on the agenda,
I-
and you're the chair, so you get to decide what's on the next agenda.
Okay, well, I thought
do
there's a
not-
way where they can tell me what's on the agenda.
No,
I thought for
not-
sure there is.
I guess I'm
Not
like,
at this location.
Bridge, I'd like to see that on the executive committee then, for our next meeting
I
that
will-
we have.
They
I will send that out to everybody so everybody knows what that says.
agenda, you sure?
Thank you.
Okay.
And I agree with Joel. We
Sorry, I
need more
thought
time to
they could.
discuss things, back and forth, have discussion.
belligerent.
This format is really, like I said, we feel like we're getting railroaded through everything and just
Pardon?
forced to agree.
But we have these committees that, we have the committees that are doing the heavy lifting and
Yeah, I think
researching.
this is getting beyond our agenda item. It's a discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm taking advice of what I'm hearing of also. And I'm sorry if I thought there was a process to do this here. He's
Thank you.
doing it now. Okay. Anything else?
Being new, I don't know the system. Is there something existing to guide new supervisors on how to do things that I could actually read? Or if there isn't, can we make one?
Well, between our ordinances and Robert's Rules of Orders, that's what we operate under. And if the ordinance we have doesn't add anything or change Robert's rules, it's Robert's Rules, which can be found everywhere.
Supervisor Goodman has the book that all of you were given last April that I handed out to you at the very first meeting. So all of you should have that book that would go over all.
In the book? Thank you, ma'am.
And I guess here's my problem, is we can talk about committees all day long, but I'm not on certain committees. I requested to be on certain committees. They were my top choices. And our last administrator told me that you usually get your top two choices, that you never, ever do not get one of your top two choices. And we pulled the records, and he lied right to my face about me not requesting certain ones to be the top two. And now I'm sitting.
Point
not
of
on
order,
these
we are
committees.
taking this so far off the rails.
Understood.
Please.
Erickson will make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. Motion to adjourn takes precedence over any other motion. No discussion. Vote. Take and release. Okay. We are adjourned. Thank you.
This is kind of big and weighty, but I'm just trying to deal with you, but I think,
Is there a park and ride in Bloomer that I should meet you at next
at
week?
least I think.
Paul wanna ride with us? Paul is still here?
I just want to talk.
Yeah.
Kind of double booked Thursday.
Oh, yeah, yep. I got the message.
Because committees are bypassing my concerns and I don't get a voice on it.
Yeah, obviously.
But with the executive committee, like I said, on that, and
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to be snippy.
bring items in, I don't care how much got to set an
Text me your address.
I work hard. Reached out to
Just for the golf.
feedback.
I mean, we got
That is for the morning, there's the annual.
dialogue.
Going to
Trying to
eat
do a
breakfast
job.
because I'm sure to buy.
7 a.m. to 9:30. So
I'm in a night with
this doesn't
Come on, Cato, you showing up?
vision.
This gets me in the door.
So if I ask,
Yeah, when the county pays
not because
dues to go to that meeting spot of golf, you gotta pay that out of your pocket.
Oh, yeah,
They don't pay.
try to read,
I don't.
recommend.
I'm not sure what it is yet.
I wasn't trying to be snippy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I,
Honestly,
24th.
24th. That's what I assumed it was, but I didn't know.
What is my phone this time?
You didn't get the fan.
I, up at
For
the,
what?
I don't know.
The annual meeting.
I didn't get any,
I'm fine.
but you want to attend that meeting.
They gotta come forward.
Nope, you gotta tell me you want to go so I register you.
And it's just a minute.
Then I will get you registered.
means that,
Economic development.
Hey, why?
is that golf course thing?
Well, it starts out at the meeting, there'll be like legislative speakers talk about what PC is done, and then after that, everyone drives to the golf course.
I read,
don't,
You
I
have to,
just,
you have to pay for golf.
I just go to breakfast.
I would like to go to the first part.
It's a nice meeting.
It is a nice meeting.
I golfing.
West side.
Well, it is scramble format, so
I'm,
you got 3 other people to pick you up.
Thank you.
It's a good hour. Yeah.
Like an hour and 20 from Cadott or something.
Yeah.
And they can keep somebody there saying, we're here to.
Yeah, that's.
9.
No, it should have been tonight. So no, it'll be the first.
okay.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh, there's 4 emails.
Then I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because, well, they sent,
Did I know that?
yeah, just a couple of days ago.
I haven't gotten any of them, but I had requested to have on the
Because they sent it out and there was an error on the agenda.
So right before I
Sent it out. Then they sent the video.
Oh, there's like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the video thing.
I didn't get any of that. No, I'll look. When I was working, those times I could read my email at work, and I get home and it wasn't even on there yet. But, I requested it about this.
Jerry
The way that different counties identify their.
I know, I was like, if there's one hour, you're going home.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to do this in Chippewa. We wanna get something for EMS but we'd like to standardize instead of.
Way to go, Frank. Now I gotta carry it all the way downstairs.
I get on town meeting.
Gosh. Got your ticket that I left on your desk?
Yes, I did. As long as I remember it was.
I need to sit up. People bring this to me. I gotta be able to explain my
Yeah.
constituents.
I will
There's no way.
stop by with some more tomorrow, but you can take the.
Sounds good, thank you. Are you curious, do you want me to sign with your blue pen? But mine is black, do you? That's fine. Are you sure? Okay.
Oh, yeah, and I've even taken, when we first started. last April,
I know, I always ask him, want me to sign blue? Want me to sign his color?
You know.
I just heard through the grapevine, you had died.
I haven't.
Oh, that was awful. That was awful.
All right, I'm listening. You got my attention.
It was not intentional. I didn't like it.
That's cool.
That's what they all say.
Economic development. Why can't we have that discussion?
You know, and I don't know.
There's a lot of people here who have.
No, but I
Do you have to disconnect? I just shut off.
We don't always have. Community